morning, everyone. Welcome to Grade 5 Mathematics class. How are you all doing today? So, we have come to the end of this chapter, decimals. Now, we'll see the questions from revision station, which is in page number 100 of your textbook. All of you, please take your maths textbook and turn to page number 100. Let's see the first question. Convert the following fractions into decimals. And you have 5 questions given there. And question A is 5 1 by 5, which is a mixed fraction. You are asked to convert this fraction into decimal form. So, since we are given a mixed fraction, let's first convert this to an improper fraction. So, how do we write 5 1 by 5 as an improper fraction? Let's see that. Write 5 here. Okay, now the denominator into the whole number part, 5 into 5 plus the numerator. So, this is 5 into 5, 25 plus 1, 26 by 5. Now, we have got the corresponding improper fraction, and to convert a given fraction into decimal form, what do you have to do? You have to change the denominator in terms of 10 or multiples of 10. So, how can we change this denominator 5 to 10 or multiples of 10? Just multiply this 5 by 2 and we get 5 into 2 is equal to 10 as the denominator. So, what you do in the denominator, you have to do the same process in the numerator as well. So, let's continue with the calculation. So, this would be equal to 26 into 2 by 5 into 2, which is equal to, what is 26 into 2? 26 into 2 is equal to 52 divided by 10. So, right now we have 52 divided by 10, a whole number divided by 10. That we can easily convert to a decimal number. So, what is 52 divided by 10? There is 1 0 for 10. So, count one place from the right to the left and put the decimal point. So, 52 by 10 will be equal to 5.2, which is the corresponding decimal number to the fraction 5 1 by 5. I hope this is clear to you. Similarly, you can complete all the other 4 questions from question number 1. Now, let's move on to question number 2. Convert the following decimals into fractions. So, the first question is A, 18.05. You are supposed to convert each of these questions to a fractional form. Let's see the first question. Question A, 18.05. So, we can write this 18.05 as 18.05 is equal to 18 plus 0.05, which is equal to 0.05. And again, that is equal to 18 plus, what is 0.05? It is actually 5 by 100, right? 5 by 100 gives you the decimal 0.05. That is equal to 5 by 100. Now, from here, you can either calculate the LCM and proceed with the addition, or just reduce this 5 by 100 to its lowest form. See, 5 by 100. Do they have a common factor, the numerator and the denominator? Yes, 5 is a factor of both this 5 and 100. So, let's cancel out that common factor. 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 100 divided by 5 is equal to 20. So, this one you can write as 18 plus 1 by 20. And that we can write as a mixed fraction. This would be equal to 18 1 by 20. So, 18.05 is equal to the mixed fraction 18 1 by 20. Hope this is clear to you. Now, you can complete the rest of the questions from question number 2 in the same method. Now, let's see question number 3. Arrange in ascending order. There are 2 set of questions given there. The first set, you can see 4 decimal numbers given there. You are supposed to arrange these decimal numbers in ascending order. So, to arrange them in ascending order, we have to compare each of these decimal number with one another, right? So before that, look at the decimal numbers. To compare the decimal numbers, they should be like decimals. Are these decimal numbers like decimals? What are like decimals? The decimal numbers that have equal or same number of digits after the decimal point. They are called like decimals. And if a decimal number is not a like decimal when compared to the other decimal numbers, what you can do? You can add zeros to the rightmost end so that the number of digits after the decimal point become the same. That way you can convert unlike decimals to like decimals. So here look at the numbers 41.21, 41.12, 41.012 and 411.2. See, this number 41.012 has got 3 digits after the decimal point, whereas in the last number 411.2 there is only 1 digit after the decimal point. So this is the number that has the greatest number of digits after the decimal point, which is 3. So let's make the number of digits after the decimal point in all the numbers 3. How? By adding enough zeros to the right. So let's do that and we get 41.21 is equal to 41.210. 41.12 is equal to 41.120. Then 41.012 as such and 411.2 equal to 411.200. Adding zeros to the rightmost end after the decimal point will not make any difference in the value of the decimal number. So right now these decimal numbers are like decimals. Now we can compare them easily. So to compare decimal numbers, first we have to compare the whole number part. In the first 3 numbers, the whole number part is the same, 41. And in the last number, it is 411. So which is the smallest among these two sets? It is 41. We have 41 in 3 of the numbers and 411. So obviously 41 is smaller than 411. Now let's look at the decimal part of the numbers which has the whole number part 41. Here you have 210, here you have 120 and here you have 012. You have to compare each digit one by one. You have to start from the first digit after the decimal point. Compare the first digit after the decimal point in each of these numbers. Then if they are the same, you compare the next digit and it goes on like that. So let's compare the first digit after the decimal point here. Here you have 2, here you have 1 and here you have 0. Which is the smallest? 0 is the smallest. So let's write the numbers. It would be 41.012 is the smallest one. Then comes 41.120. Then comes 41.210 and last 411.200. So here you have the numbers arranged properly in the correct ascending order. Now, let's move on to the next question. There is one more question given there for question number 3. You can complete that also. Now, question number 4. Arrange in descending order. So, similar to the previous case where we arranged decimal numbers in ascending order, to arrange a given set of decimal numbers in descending order, first make sure they are all like decimals. Look at the numbers in the first question. A 15.3, 16.5, 15.8 and 16.7. So all these numbers have the same number of digits, which is 1 in all the numbers. So these are like decimals. So let's compare the like decimals, the whole number part of the like decimals. So here we have 15 and 16, 15 and 16. Which is smaller, 15 or 16? 15 is smaller. Here we are arranging in descending order. So it should be 16 that comes first. So first we write 16. Then from among the numbers which have 16 as the whole number part, which is the highest? Is it 16.5 or 16.7? For that you have to compare the first digits after the decimal point. You have 5 here, you have 7 here. Which is the largest? 7. So 16.7 comes first, then comes 16.5, then comes 15. Is Is it 15.3 or 15.8? Which is larger? 15.8. So that comes then, that comes there, and next comes 15.3. So here you have the numbers arranged properly in descending order. The fifth question. Add the following. Question A, 4.85 plus 14.12 plus 8.2 plus 7.129. So let's try doing the first question. Now, for doing addition of decimal numbers, you have to make sure they are all like decimals first. Are they like decimals here? No. This one has got 2 digits after the decimal point. This one has got 2 digits. This one only 1 digit. Whereas in the last number, there are 3 digits after the decimal point. So let's convert these unlike decimals to like decimals by adding enough number of zeros to the rightmost end. So that 4.85 becomes 4.850, 14.12 becomes 14.120, 8.2 becomes 8.200, 7.129 as such. This is the number which has got the maximum number of digits after the decimal point. So here you have 3 digits. Hence, we made all the digits, all the other numbers as having 3 digits after the decimal point by adding zeros. Now that we have made them as like decimals, the next step is to write down all these numbers in a way such that the digits in the same place come right below one another. The digits in the same place are in the same column. You have to write it exactly in the same column. And also in the answer, make sure you're putting the decimal point exactly below the decimal point in the given numbers. So adding these numbers will give you the sum 34.299. So this is the answer for question A. Similarly, you can complete the other 3 questions of question number 5. Question number 6. Question A, 4.8 minus 2.712. Here also, just like addition, the numbers have to be like decimals. Here, in the minuend, there is only 1 digit after the decimal point, whereas in the subtrahend, we have 3 digits after the decimal point. So let's make them like decimals by adding enough zeros to the right of the decimal point. So that 4.8 becomes 4.800 and 2.712 is written as such. Now let's proceed with the subtraction, and after the subtraction we get the difference as 2.088. This is the answer to the first question. You can proceed with the calculation of other questions in the same way. Let's proceed to the next question, which is question number 7. From the sum of 122.75 and 78.178, take away the sum of 68.04 and 35.271. So what is given in the question? You're asked to subtract or take away the sum of this from this. So what you have to do? You have to first add 122.75 and 78.178 and then find the sum. Also find the sum of 68.04 and 35.271. Find the sum as well. Now you have to take their difference. So I hope you are aware of the rule called BODMAS. The BODMAS rule. This stands for brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. It means that when different operations come in the same question, like here you have the addition and subtraction within the same question, which one would you do first? Whatever is given in the brackets should be done first. Then comes orders, which you will study about later. Then division, then you have to do multiplication, then you have to do addition, then subtraction. So since these sums or these additions are given in brackets, you have to do the addition processes first and then do this subtraction. So remember this rule, it's called BODMAS and it stands for brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So you start doing the calculations in this order when different operations come in the same question. So just keep in mind this one. Now let's find out the sum of each of these. Here you have rearranged it by making them into like decimals. In the question, they were unlike decimals. So here we have changed them into like decimals by adding enough zeros. See, 122.75 became 122.750. Here, as it is, 68.04 becomes 68.040 and 35.271 as such. Proceeding with the calculation, the sum of the first part is 200.928, whereas the sum of this part is 103.311. Now, you have to take their difference, which is 200.928 minus 103.311, and that gives you a difference of 97.617, which is the answer to the question. Hope this is clear to you. Now let's see the next question. Question number 8. Find the product. A. 7.12 into 12. So you are asked to multiply a decimal number by a whole number. What is the rule? You can first ignore the decimal point, proceed with the multiplication, and in the final product, you can put the decimal point exactly at the place where you put the decimal point in the multiplicand. So here you have 7.12 into 12. Let's multiply the ones first. Here are 2 into 2, which is 4. Now 2 into 1, 2. 2 into 7, 14. 1 into 2, 2. 1 into 1, 1. 1 into 7, 7. Inserting enough zeros, adding the products, you get 4 here, 4 here, 5 here, 8 here. And in the multiplicand, there were 2 digits after the decimal point. So, counting 2 places from right to left, 1, 2, putting the decimal point. What is the answer to this question? The product is 85.44. That is the answer to the question A. Similarly, you can proceed with the calculation of other products. Similarly, you can find the product of other questions as well. Now, let's move on to the next question. Divide the following. Question A, 25.32 divided by 4. Let's see how we can do the division. A decimal number divided by a whole number. Let's consider the first digit, which is 2. We cannot divide 2 by 4. Let's take the first 2 digits, which is 25. So 25 divided by 4. Recite the table of 4 till you reach 25 or just less than 25. So from the table of this divisor, from the table of 4, we know 4 sixes are 24. So let's write that here. 25 minus 24 is 1. Now, before bringing down the next digit, see the decimal point here. Put the decimal point in the quotient and bring down the next number. So right now, we have 13 divided by 4. So how many 4s will go in 13? 4 3s are 12, right? So let's write 3 here. 4 3s are 12. Subtracting the numbers, we get 1 here. Bringing down the next digit, we get 12 here. 12 divided by 4, which is equal to 3. Let's write 12 here. 4 3s. Subtracting, you get 0. So what is the quotient? 25.32 divided by 4 is equal to 6.33. Now the next question is also the division of a decimal number by a whole number, which you can do in the same method. Now question number 3 or C, 55.55 divided by 5.5. So that is a decimal number, 55.55 divided by another decimal number. So what is the rule? When you are asked to divide two decimal numbers, first shift the decimal point in the divisor to the right enough places to make it a whole number. And you have to count how many places you shifted the decimal point. So here 5.5, let's shift this decimal point one place to the right to make it a whole number. So shifting the decimal point to the right makes this denominator 5.5 as 55. And what about this numerator? Shifting the decimal point one place to the right will change this 55.55 to 555.5. So this is our new numerator and this is our new denominator. Now we have to do the division of this numerator and this denominator. So that we have written here 555.5 divided by 55. We are dividing with a two-digit number. So consider the first two digits of the dividend. 55 divided by 55, which is 1. So 55 ones are 55 that we have written here. Subtracting the numbers, we get 0. Bringing down the next digit, you have 5 here. Now 5 divided by 55. Can we do 5 by 55? No. So let's put 1 0 here. Bring down the next digit, but note that there is a decimal point in between, so don't forget to put that decimal point in the quotient. So right now we have 55 divided by 55, which is 1. So write that 1 here. 55 ones are 55. Subtracting the numbers, and we get 0 here. So it is, what is the quotient? It is 10.1. 55.55 divided by 5.5 is equal to 10.1. So we have done the division of a decimal number by another decimal number. Similarly, you can complete the other questions. Now let's see the next question, which is question number 10. Rahul cycles 8.28 km in 4.5 hours. What is his speed per hour? So the distance he is traveling is given in the question, and the time he takes is also given. With that data, from the formula, speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken, we can substitute the numbers, the data from the question. So since speed equal to distance traveled by time taken, the speed that Rahul cycles will be equal to distance traveled 8.2 km by the time taken 4.5 hours. Now here it is 8.28 by 4.5. Decimal number divided by another decimal. So shifting of decimal point to the right has to be done, and that will make the numbers, these numbers equal to 82.8 km by 45 hours. Now let's do the division. 82.8 by 45. How many 45s will go in? 82. 45 ones are 45, but 45 twos are 90. So let's take 45 ones. So here it is 45. Subtracting the numbers. Here it is 7. Here it is 12. 12 minus 5, 7. 7 minus 4, 3. Bringing down the next digit and putting the decimal point in the quotient. Here you have 378. So right now it's 378 divided by 45. So how many 45s will go in 378? 45 tens will be 450. So let's try out 45 nines. 45 nines will be 9 fives are 45. Carry over 4. 9 fours are 36 plus 4. It is 405, which is more than 378. Let's try one more number. 45 eights. 8 fives are 40, a carry over 4. 8 fours are 32 plus 4, 36. So 360. So 8 45s will go in 378. So let's take this 8 and write it here. 45 eights are 360. Now subtracting the numbers, we get 8 minus 0, 8. 7 minus 6 is 1. And here we got 18. Do we have any more digits to bring down? No. But the division is not complete. We should get the remainder as 0. So let's put 1 0 to the right of this 18 and proceed with the division. So that will make this 18 180. Right now we have to divide this 180 by this 45. So 45 twos are 90. So let's check what are 45 fours. 45 fours. It should be the double of 45 twos, right? So let's check 45 fours. So that is 4 fives are 20, a carry over 2. 4 fours are 16 plus 2, 18. Yes, there we got the answer. 45 fours are 180. Let's subtract the numbers and we get the remainder 0. So the quotient to this division is equal to 1.84, which is the speed that Rahul cycles. 1.84 kilometer per hour. Unit of speed is kilometer per hour. Hope you are clear with this question. Now let's see the next one. There are 24 bags of coffee in a shop. If each bag weighs 0.62 kilogram, what is the total weight of all the coffee bags? What are the things given in the question? There are a total of 24 bags in coffee shop. So the number of coffee bags is equal to 24, and the weight of each bag is equal to 0.62 or 0.62 kilogram. Now, you are asked to find out the total weight. Total weight is equal to the number of coffee bags into the weight of each bag. That would be equal to 24 into 0.62, a whole number multiplied by a decimal number. So, how would you do this? Ignore the decimal point in the beginning, proceed with the multiplication, put the decimal point in the final product, which will give you the total weight is equal to 14.88 kilograms. Hope this is clear to you. Now, the last question. Question number 12. Raj covers 13.26 km by car and 1.5 km by walking to reach his office. Find the total distance to his office. So, what is the distance that Raj covers by car? Distance covered by car is equal to 13.26 km. Distance covered by walking is equal to 1.5 km. And the total distance is equal to distance covered by car plus the distance covered by walking, which would be equal to 13.26 plus 1.5 kilometer. We are adding decimal numbers. Make sure they are like decimals. They are unlike decimals here. Change them to like decimals by adding enough zeros to the right. Then proceed with the addition and you get the total distance is equal to 14.76 kilometer. Hope these questions are clear to you. Now children, you can go through these questions once again and make sure you complete all the questions. You can work out these questions in your notebook. You have to complete all the questions. Then in page number 99, there is a heading Maths Lab activity. You can go through it and do accordingly. And as a homework, you can complete the questions from worksheet, which is given in page number 101. Go through these questions as well and do accordingly. So that's all for today, children. We have come to the end of chapter 5. We'll meet in the next class with a new chapter. Till then, bye.